That's correct.
Okay, was Jean Macongo, Spirit, the Spirituality short story, The Origin of Humanity. We're talking to him. Really interesting short story. So, according to your blog interview, this is you had a dream and then you kind of woke up and wrote the story.
Yes, yes, yes. That was like really deep dream. I never write a fiction book before. And yeah, that's just come like by, by deep dream I had.
And this is like how long ago was that?
Well, like the dream I think was whole night. I can calculate, I can't like, say, okay, I sleep, I go to bed like as usual it does,
Yeah.
like, by 10 and I wake up at the 5 a.m.
Okay.
And like, yeah, and last night I have that dream. That was so deep and usually dream. Like I was like my body was shaking. Even when I wake up, like everything I write there was what I have the dream. Like I have like like movie. I was watching a movie. Like
Yeah.
I was in the movie watching stuff happening. You
So
know.
then, so then, did you just like the words just come out of you when you just started writing the script?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I talked to my friend. I like what I write down was what I had in the dream. I was just doing like the transcription of the dream. Like I don't
Oh,
have a I if I write two book no three books before.
yeah.
I have the Black Book is a political and philosophical book, is a non-fiction book. My first book is Our History, What We Need to Know. That was in Portuguese when I was back home. Is a non-fiction book too, and I write The Origin of Congo Conflict is non-fiction book. I don't have an expiration for fiction book because I like write what's I live like I know okay and yeah, that one was like, unusually. And then that was like the dream I had. And when I wake up, like I was still dreaming because I can see whole movie, whole pictures, and then the word was coming out of me like easily in a very easy way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, all right. So basically, you generally write like nonfiction. So you've written a couple novels. So you've written so you wrote in the Black Book, The Mystery of Africa's Misfortune. Then you wrote another book, The Origin of the Congo Conflict, Colonization, Tribalism. So historical kind of like you said, political book. Like obviously nonfiction. This is about life. This is purely a fiction book, correct?
Yeah.
This is a fictional life story. And you like you said you never really write that style before. Like you ever?
Yeah, yeah. This is my first. This is my second book, The
Okay.
Origin of Conflict in Congo, and this is like launched last year, and this is like come up this year.
Yeah.
This is the last one. This is all of that like that a non-fiction book. That's a
Yeah.
reality I know about Africa. Political because I have political background in law and my research. I done this book, but that's one that's non-fiction. Like that was like vivid dream I had and. I explore like the mystery of this beginning of the humanity,
Yeah.
struggling in cosmic journey and of creation, yeah, identity, mortality, and and purpose of living was just an usually dream. When I was writing down, like I can't even understand how I was in this in just dream and what was the purpose of that dream.
Yeah. But okay, so it goes without saying that a lot of research on the books that you've written. It's on Amazon right now. We'll do like we can buy your books on Amazon right now. They're on paper book. They looks like fantastic books, can highly rated. So in terms of this book, sorry, this short story, do you think it's like dare I say divine intervention that you had the dream? When something like a spiritual for it is a spiritual short story like
Yeah.
some bigger being came to you and told you to write this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like was as I said, I never well, we as women human beings we always have a dream, right? But that
Yeah.
was like more clear dream I have in all my life. Like I can remember the beginner and the end. When I sit down the day when I wake up next day, I write 90 page
Yeah,
of the history of that
that's
like of the
amazing.
dream I had.
That's
90
amazing.
page. yeah, it was like, really, really deep dreams I have, and I was just struggling to understand. Like, hey, I'm putting this dream as a fiction, but like I was in the dream. I was seeing everything happening. I didn't
Yeah.
create nothing.
Okay, so what do you like? Does your ideology match with the story then? Like, do you believe in this in the story?
Well, I don't believe in I believe in history because I have that dream, right?
Yeah,
But how the dream happening, like maybe uh I know that the humanity as Christian, the humanity was created, and
yeah,
somehow, as we know, as Christian, we believe, but not in this kind of like in the kind of dream I'm writing about, because I dream about black woman and white man in the dream.
okay,
Yeah, they was in the land together. The creator created the land and give them the rules. This is your universe. You need to take care of that. I'm the creator of this universe and the others universe. After I leave from this land, I'm not going to come back uh, on the time. Follow the rules,
yeah,
create it, procreate it, and protect. This is the only land you has by excellence,
okay,
protecting. If you try to go out of this land, you cannot survive. If somebody try to come in, you have the power to defend yourself and to destroy. I'm creating this universe and others universe. As soon as I leave here, I have a other job to do. Another universe has been created, and this universe, the creation I live there,
yeah,
out of them, they have the power. They destroy, they out to destroy the universe I create. I don't want this happening to you, but like give us the rules and as the dream was going, and then I saw then they discover how they can procreate the universe we live, and then after that they starting having kids, and then when they're having that kid they starting having like mutual racial kid in the land.
yeah,
uh when they starting having multiple, they have like a white kid, they have a black kid, they have yellow kid, they yellow babies and stuff like that. But the environment where they was, some kid they starting dying, and then they was trying to understand why this phenomenon was happening, because they was comparing themselves to the another animals around them. Then when
yeah,
they discover maybe it's the environment, and then they try to explore more the land, and to see if they can find another place where in a different environment the kids can live. And then that has happened. When
wow,
this happened, that is when the mystery start.
yeah. So you believe that then? That's like that's what the dream. The dream makes so much. It's so real to you that it makes.
Yeah, yeah, it's like it's so real. Like I can even like tell people, but it's just like I'm living that dream. Like I can see. I
Yeah.
cannot see the images, but I can see what I saw in that dream.
Okay. And so then you wrote it down. Did you like? So then what did you? Okay. After you, how long ago was this when you wrote it?
Oh well, I take like probably 2 hours.
No, I
And then,
mean like what like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months
oh yeah,
ago,
no, that since I write, that's just 2, 3 months ago.
three. Oh, so just in 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, and then you just wrote it down, and then did you like go back the next day and edit it, or like what was the what
Well,
process?
the book, the 90 page, I read them in one day.
Come
I
on.
just Yeah, and one day when I was like sitting, I sit right here where the same place I'm sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I go to take shower, I was done the 90 page of the book. I was done with the 90 page, and then I just go because I put too much, like too song more fiction, because even when I was writing down, I was a little bit afraid because my body was shaking.
Your
Like
body
I
was.
was I was imagining what people or the writer going to say when they pick this book.
Yeah.
yeah, and then I was just trying like to find like some fantasy word to try to change the narrative, like to go more in a fiction way, because the dream was so clear. As I'm Christian, I'm believer. I
Yeah.
believe that dream happened, but I know then I don't have a just the reader who are Christian. I have a people gonna go struggling with what I'm going to write down, what
Yeah.
I'm writing. Then I was trying to find like some easy way, to tell my dream.
So what is your origin story? When did you just start writing yourself?
Oh well, I started writing back home. I'm originally from Angola,
Okay.
Africa. Yeah, the
How
motherland.
long
And
you been you're in Toronto, right?
yeah, I'm in
How long you
Toronto.
been in Toronto for?
Almost 5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, almost 5 years. Well, on my background, I studied law for 5 years, and yeah, as I was studying, and for many years, even when I go to school, I go to high school, I go to middle school, we was learning story about like we in Africa, particularly my country, we know more story about Portugal than our own land, Africa. Like I
Yeah.
don't know much about Nigeria, who are close to me, but I
Yeah.
know much about Brazil, much about America, much about Canada. Why? Because we learn about Canada at the school. We learn about Portugal at the school. We learn, then we was discovered. But when I started doing research, I learned, and then I said, okay, we get here, but we know that we need give value to our history. How are we gonna give value to our history if we don't learn our history? If we don't teach our history?
Yeah.
I become teacher, and then I was going to school to teach kids, and then I was teaching them about Portuguese history, about Brazilian history, about colonization history in different way.
Yeah.
Right? And then I said, okay, if I want to change the world with the knowledge I have. If I want to change my country, if I want to change the environment where we are, if I want to change this injustice, because I classify it as injustice, I need to do something. How I can start? I cannot blame the people who write about Portugal. I cannot blame people who write about Canada. They're
Yeah.
writing something. If I know something, I need to write something. And then I started writing to teach my student uh, the original story of Angola, the original story of Africa. This is when I started writing down because I
Oh,
was
gotcha. So there
yeah,
was a motivational because you thought there was a need for the
exactly,
generation to learn more, know more about their culture, I guess.
about the culture because we was in the same country. Like people who are in different province, they have a different knowledge of the same history.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's was like, okay, yeah, we need to do something. I can't blame people who don't know. If I know and then I'm done teaching, I'm done doing nothing, well, like I'm
Where
done.
did you get your research for like you're talking about like your books? So basically like the Black Book, The Mystery of Africans and Misfortune. How did you kind of research this book?
Well, I read a lot. I read
Yeah.
a lot. I buy book. Like I have a, I don't know, I can I cannot show, but I have a
Yeah.
lot of books here. And I do like original research. In some place of Africa, I go by myself, because I know a lot of information. They don't write in library. They don't write by book. But you can listen to the original history talking to real people
Yeah.
who are in the land. And then like that was the black book was like more easy because I'm coming from this kind of environment that was involved in the political stuff, and then I know how we think because it's more like political way, and the same way is more like philosophy way, to try to help people, like
Yeah.
why too many people struggle. Because when we go to the colonization, when we go back to exploration, if even to slave, right now the only people or the only people or person who identify himself as slave only is black people. Why? The Chinese were slave.
Yeah.
The Jews were slave in Egypt.
Yeah.
But why these people embrace themselves and then move forward? If you come across three people in the street, that kind of example I give you, you find one Chinese, you
Yeah.
find one black man from wherever country he is, and then you put one Jews man, and then some strange man crossing the road just called slave. The only people going to identify himself, then this guy's offend me, is the black people.
Yeah.
But the Jews was left too. And another example I give is in 2000, 25 years ago, the Chinese was the most poor country in the world.
Yeah.
Africa exists before that. How the Chinese embraced themselves. Now they trying to fight to get the number one level in a superpower country. And
Yeah.
then Africa, more than 50 countries, they're struggling with the same issues.
Yeah.
Why we cannot take our mind out of a victimization? Because we live victim.
Victimization.
We
But
always.
but there's a lot of factors involved, and correct me if I'm wrong. But also there's there's like it's hot. And
I
it's
know.
really, really hot
I know.
in Africa. You can't dismiss the climate, but also too that it's about capitalistic motivation. It's like capitalism is what our societies are about. It's like it is kind of like what makes the world go round, whether you like it or not. And if you're a society that is motivated by that, then yeah, you can succeed. But if you're not that motivated, and why would you be? Because it's corrupt. Then all of a sudden you don't get. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a lot of factors involved in
Yeah,
that, and
yeah, I
also
know that.
too, like if you look at the Americans, like there's still like it still hasn't been recognized. I guess right there still needs to be recognition. But I know what you're saying. You don't want to play the victim anymore. You want to move on, right?
We can still playing the victim. We
Yeah,
can still playing the victim because we still like we was African people. They was the first people to start immigration, to start exploration.
yeah.
That is in history. Don't is me talking. It's the history
No,
talking.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but when why we still victim? We explore people too before.
yeah,
We African people, Moors people, they occupied Spain. They occupied Portugal. They was teaching they was teaching Christianity. Oh, they was teaching Muslim culture. They was teaching African culture there. They was healing people. They was teaching medicine. What they was exploring before fight. And then
yeah,
they come, white people, well, the world that this is how world work, right? They come here, they explore us, and then they move on. That's his life. This is
yeah,
how world is designed. But why we still struggle? Because the black people, in my opinion, we don't stop talking from the back. We need to look to the back as mirror. What mistake we made because we want to improve. But always our history, we talking about victimization.
yeah.
And then we don't moving nowhere when other people doing stuff to impress, to achieve from ourselves. It's China. I'm talking just one country.
So you
Only.
brought up the Jewish culture. Every year there's a ceremony. There's a religious ceremony that they talk about being slaves. So they're
Yeah.
constantly the culture is constantly reminded of that time in their life and how it could happen again, and
Yeah.
they're constantly reminded. But I guess at the same time that like it's within the tribe, the tribal of the Jewish population, there is there is conversation about it all the time, but it's
Yeah.
just not. But then when outward, they don't talk about it. I guess to others,
And,
to normies, I guess, right? They
yeah.
don't talk about it.
When I arrived here in Canada, my lawyer, is Jews, and yeah,
Yeah,
he helped me a lot.
a
We work.
Jewish lawyer. Come on, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Yeah, yeah,
And no, they're really tough. They're really tough.
yeah. Okay,
They're
go
really
ahead.
tough. And, yeah, and then he helped me a lot, and then he was talking like we can like you show your struggle inside. Don't show your struggle to the world.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of the point. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
You show, don't show. Because when you show your struggle to the world know where easily they can pick you, how they can use you.
yeah.
Like you are over trust. You can come to the meeting, you cannot say like, okay, I trust too much. You can't say it. Because they're going to use.
Oh, so that's kind of a pessimistic way of looking at things. But I guess maybe you're right. But
Yeah, because
don't
that's
show
a
weakness. Basically, you're saying don't show weakness.
exactly. You can't show. Always, all of us, we are weak. We have our point. You
Sure.
can see even the president. You can talk. Just give him some example. We have our prime minister, right?
Yeah.
He's tough guys in the TV stuff like that. But when he go home, Maybe
Sure.
hey, we have to tell him, okay, sit down, Marconi. Connie,
Yeah.
sit down. President Trump, sit down to listen to his wife.
I
But
don't
to
think
the
he's listening to
world,
his wife, but go ahead. Yeah,
exactly. But he's the type.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the just giving an example. Don't
Yeah,
think
I
like
know, no, no. Maybe Carney is. Yeah, Carney. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and then when he
Yeah,
come down, he's well, he's the tough guys in TV, but
sure. Yeah,
yeah, in the camera, journalists in a meeting with another, we
yeah,
see we saw recently some episode with President Macron from France.
yeah,
But to the world, he's the tough guy. But to his woman, he have some weakness.
yeah,
That's is what I'm saying. Like for African people, if we want to move forward, we need to take our victimization in. We know
yeah,
what we live in the past. We need to teach ourselves. We need to teach our generation how they can identify
yeah,
when stuff is coming up to don't live the same struggle we live in the past.
yeah,
But in the meantime, we need to move forward. We cannot always crucify by the past. Oh no, we was explored by America, we was explored by Italian, we was
yeah,
explored by Portuguese. We can. This is history, it's right there.
yeah.
We can go back. We want to always, oh, they need to
The
recognize.
history is there. The colonization,
It
corruption.
was there. We can talk a whole year. We don't want to
Yeah,
change nothing.
yeah,
That is the point I talk in this book, how we can achieve, how we can move forward. And that is the
yeah.
secret of the Black Book.
No, I get it, but at the same time, like what I don't you know more than I do, but basically at the same time is like there's such racism and marginalization and like it's like going on and it's like you have to talk about that like about how basically we live in a like basically if you're a white man like me, it's a lot easier to roam the streets of Toronto than it is
Yeah,
for you probably, right? So
yeah, yeah,
basically,
yeah.
so that needs to be discussed. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
But the problem is where? The problem is where? The
yeah,
problem sometimes is more in mentality. That's how I'm talking about in this book and the Black Book is
yeah,
more about the mentality. They are right there. What is the problem? The problem is I'm a writer right now. I'm here, I'm a writer,
yeah,
I'm smart guys. If somebody crossing the road and then told me you are like, let's see, to be more fair, let's see, oh, you don't are handsome, but I know I are handsome. That's don't affect me. That's don't offend me.
yeah,
This person need to change the joke to affect me. If he don't find the joke to affect me, he need change how he can make relationship with me. If he can call me slave, and then I get this as offense, he know where to push me.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The victimization, the stuff
Gotcha.
is in our
It's a
mind.
mindset. It's a
The
mindset.
mindset.
Yeah,
That's is the stuff is mind because we're going to talk about this stuff all the time about the victimism, about the racism, about this stuff. If we don't change the perspective, because before the narrative was what? Oh no, black people they don't are smart. Too many people who don't know black people, they will think, okay, the black people they don't are smart. They're
yeah,
crime, the stuff like that. But when they started living with the black people,
yeah,
they started to understand, oh, these people are too smart. Then they told us, these people create many things. These
yeah,
people change the world in multiple ways. This narrative come out of their mouth because they find, okay, who is the best player in basketball? Okay, it's one black people. Who is one black people? You can come and then say, okay, the black people they don't are smart. You can
yeah,
even joke with that. Don't just joke anymore.
yeah,
That's when you come, you find I know the weakness. Okay, what's okay? If I call him slave, he's gonna be offended.
yeah,
Then you be offended, he's going to use it.
yeah.
All of us we want to take advantage of other people. If you find the weakness of this person, you're going to use it against him.
So don't take. It's almost like taking the bait. Don't take the bait of like that negativity and
Exactly. This is his mindset. If that stuff don't offend, we don't going to put the case in a court as a victim, as a victim, as a victim. They need to find another joke
yeah,
to make me mad. If that stuff make you mad, all the time I'm going to use it because I want to see you mad.
yeah.
I don't want to see you happy. I don't want you to see you succeed.
Yeah.
I want to see you considering yourself as a victim. Then you need my help.
Yeah.
How are you gonna change it? We need to change it somehow. How people change? How let's see how Ukrainian is defending himself against Russia. He's
Yeah.
defending himself. How he defending himself? That is the kind of mindset
Yeah.
black people need to have.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just the line that I
So, but
put
that's your ideologies in your books. But are you going to write a
it.
separate book about this, like this ideology about let's stop being victims and let's
Yeah, yeah, because we have a lot of resource in a continent. We have a lot of resource, but we can use it in our favor. How we can use it, our resource? We need everything. We in Africa, we need industry. We need manufacturing, but we have like steel for manufacturing, but we can't use it. We need electricity, but we have oil. We can't use it.
yeah,
Like how we can use it? How? If you have an industry and then you don't have oil,
yeah,
I don't need to bring oil to Canada or to America. And then, I bring oil here and then I buy gas.
yeah. Okay.
When we have an industry in Nigeria, I can bring stuff from South Africa to Nigeria and transform. I give job to South African, I
Yeah,
give job to Nigerian people. But
yeah,
how this is gonna work when we become united, when we identify what's my neighbor need and then what I need for my neighbor.
yeah. That's capitalistic free trade, right? Like that's
Exactly.
yeah,
That's
that's
like
how people make money and they ramp themselves up, right? So
exactly. Canada and America, they have this, there's a lot of agreement. I know some of them they're going to broke, but they have a lot the basics one. Like
yeah,
Canadian can go to America without the visa, and American can come here without the
yeah,
visa.
yeah,
That's free trade. But many country in continent, they don't have it. You need the visa to go to my country. It's more tough to get the visa to go to Angola, my country, than come to Canada.
yeah. That's not yeah. I understand what you're saying.
That's it.
So,
We can't
but
go nowhere.
yeah, like this, yeah, this is a huge conversation because it's about government corruption. It's about a stable government. It's about kind of like making sure that the poverty, yeah, there's so many things that need to be accomplished, I guess, right? So, for order
Yeah,
that to happen. But I
yeah.
think number one, it's the government. The government, the leaders have to be like, dare I say, not corrupt, right? Like in a general sense.
Yeah, but the thing is, how I'm saying is just mentality,
No, I
because
get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're
yeah,
saying. But it's like,
yeah,
yeah. So basically, it starts with mentality, I guess, right?
yeah. Because if I don't have a mentality, because we know the people when they are in opposition side, they talk about, oh no, this party is so corrupt. He's cooperating with American. He's getting the
Yeah,
whole resource to the French. When the same opposition party get to the power,
yeah,
he's going to do the same thing
yeah,
that all the party was there that has done,
yeah,
doing the same thing, enriching himself and then his friend and his party. And that's it. That is the problem. What the problem is? We know they're being played and then they play us.
yeah,
How are we gonna change it? It's just from the mentality.
yeah. Well, that's a book that I like to read one day.
Yeah, it's right
So
there.
before we leave you, let's go. So we asked you in the blog interview, who would you like to have dinner with, dead or alive? Who would that be? You remember who you said? Who you want to have dinner with?
Well, if you give me as how they say I admire a lot the black man there's in
Yeah,
Washington.
Zelda Washington. That's who you said. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, like him a lot. I know his story and then how he embraced his
So
story.
you're gonna break bread with Denzel, right? Like, say you have
Yeah.
like you're gonna have 2 hour dinner with them. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna eat?
Well, I don't going to spend a lot of time eating. I will try to
I
spend a
know,
lot of
but
time.
it's all about the there I see aphrodisiac of the food,
Yeah,
right?
well, I like chicken. Maybe I'm gonna go with chicken or some beef.
Okay, chicken and beef. Okay, so then what do you want to talk to him about?
Well, I'm gonna talk to him about what I think, what vision I have from from the black community and
Yeah.
how he can help directly.
Okay. Because yeah, he's not a victim, right? Like he doesn't like he's a pretty he's a guy who's figured out some stuff in life. That's how I look at it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's been
I know.
married to the same woman for decades,
Yeah, for
right?
decades.
There's
Yeah,
no like paparazzi scandal in his career, which is
yeah,
amazing if you think about it.
exactly.
He's been
Yeah,
acting for over 40 years.
yeah. It's
His
close to the
kids
unbelievable in a black community.
yeah, his kids seem to be have it figured out, right? And so that tells you he's a good parent.
Yeah,
And I know they had lots of benefits, but at the same time,
yeah,
sometimes it's too much, right? And
yeah,
so, and then he picks like, and he's just a very good at. He's a very good actor. He's very engaging.
yeah. He's very good what he
Yeah,
does. Yeah,
and he's an also good director, and he understands how the system. He plays the game. He's a good game player of Hollywood. He understands how it works.
yeah, yeah,
He's a good
yeah. Oh,
businessman too, right?
he
So.
know. He is in the game. He don't being played. He's playing the game too.
Yeah, so I get it. I get it why you want to talk to him. Like he seems
Yeah,
like he's got something figured out, right? So
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And anytime he does like like a university they do the commencement speeches. He does brilliant commencement speeches at universities. I don't know if you ever heard some of his speeches.
No, no, no. Yeah, I follow you and I follow him a lot, but
Yeah.
that's the kind of conversation like how as young men we can use
Yeah.
this this advice to implement
Yeah.
how we can help and then how he can help us as young generation we want to embrace and
Yeah.
empower our community how we can use it
Yeah.
him his image and his knowledge to embrace our community.
So how do you like Toronto?
Well, is a really good country, it's really good province in Canada, it's fantastic. We have a lot to do, that's why we're part of that. Yeah, and the freedom, oh my God, that is amazing. That is really.
Where are you based? Like downtown Toronto?
Oh, it's Etobicoke, like
Oh,
close
you're in
to the
Etobicoke.
Etobicoke.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Islington and Elmhurst Drive. That's
Yeah,
just.
totally. Yeah. Well, I'm in Toronto, so yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So, okay, so basically, so you wrote this short story. We did it. We performed it for you. Great 7 minute, like it's 7 minute read. It's a really great short story.
Yeah.
So what's next to you? Writing a novel now?
Oh yeah, I'm writing. I'm just done it. Maybe I'm trying to see who can edit it. Who
Okay,
can edit it? Yeah, who can gonna be the editor and yeah, put them out there. Probably I'm trying to see if I can put out there before even September. Yeah, before September because they have some festival coming up. Maybe I can from there I can share some copy with with the writer who's gonna show there in a festival.
that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, that will be cool.
Well, I'm glad I was able to talk to you. We had some little miscommunications, more my fault than your fault, and
Oh, exactly. Yes, yes, I do. I do. I do.
so I'm glad that we were able to talk. And so why don't we talk again when either we perform another reading of yours or we or you got something to promote, like a novel to promote or whatever. So how about we talk
Ye-
again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that show, like, that's will be really, really good. I want to come back and have that kind of conversation. And I know because I'm following the organization and web and WhatsApp and sorry, and Facebook and
Yeah,
I'm following a whole event they're having. I want to enjoy some of them in the future. If
cool.
comes some if comes some opportunity out there.
Well, we
Yeah.
got a festival tonight as we're doing this podcast. If you want to come,
Oh, tonight?
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That will be amazing.
yeah. But we do it all like Carlton Cinemas downtown Toronto. So
Oh, okay.
7 o'clock. I'll put a ticket for you if you want to come.
Please, please,
Tickets. Yep.
please, please.
Tonight is action adventure. Best of
Oh,
act
okay.
like so 7 films from 8 countries, like action adventure films. So
Oh,
every two
okay.
weeks we do a different genre. So
Oh, okay. And then I received the I don't know if you can talk about that here too, because I see some thriller, some movies like you have a done before, from some noble stuff like that, like creating some movie that's gonna be like really fantastic from that book because I know a lot of people they don't have a time to read, maybe gonna be like, very good insight because the thriller, like, the recording I received from your organization was really good, and the people like, they love it,
yeah,
they
that's
really love
good.
it already.
Oh, it's so good to hear.
Yeah, no, that they really love because I share, I share with a lot of friends, and yeah, they
Yeah.
go there and listen. Yeah, I was just sharing, and then they listen, and they was asking, this is AI. I said, no, this is, don't is
No,
AI.
no, no, no. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see it.
it's
You can
some.
tell it's not AI. Yeah, it's a,
Yeah, yeah, that's it. No, that's some professional working out there, and
yeah.
then yeah, they really like it. I put in my page and my website too, and then yeah, they're enjoying. They're waiting from listening because I didn't tell too many people
Yeah.
about the novel, but after they listen it, they want to read it. That's is just fantastic, and I can
That's the
see that.
whole point, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
now they're
Okay,
going.
man. Well, let's talk again soon. I love to talk, chat with you. You're a very interesting guy.
Oh, thank you so much, thank you so.